Hello! Today we're going to talk a little bit about energy drinks. Now, I have a few controversial energy drinks that we actually sell here at Animation is Art. But I wanted to discuss these because I looked on the internet and you pretty much had a lot of scaremongering. People were like, "Oh my god, the caffeine's gonna kill our children! We're doomed!" Other junk. I mean, there was this big thing where Ellen DeGeneres was talking about like how horrible it is, blah blah. I'm like, wow, how closed-minded are you, Ellen? How closed-minded are you? Well, anyways, let's talk a little bit about these particular drinks because they're controversial. I do want people to know about them though, because they're actually pretty good. Let me explain a little bit about each of these drinks. These ones are controversial because of their name. It's their name that makes them controversial, nothing else. In other words, it's like, it would be like, well, it's really just kind of silly. In fact, cocaine was banned for a little bit in the United States because of this logo. They had to make it look less like chalk because the FDA was upset about their labeling. In fact, there is now a convenient little label thing on there about that. Okay. This message is for the people who are too stupid to recognize the obvious. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug, and anyone who thinks otherwise is an idiot. And of course it says, these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, etc., etc. But anyways, that's the controversy of it. The controversy for it is the name. Because it sounds kind of funny to be like, I'm gonna go get me some cocaine or some cannabis, ha ha ha, when in actuality you're referring to a silly energy drink. It's a joke. It's silly. It's kind of like how people who love Breaking Bad will go buy raspberry rock candy and bring it to their parties. It's just pretend. It's a way of being silly, to act like you normally would not act, and just be silly. Now, there is a kick to both of these, actually. This one over here, Cannabis Energy Drink and Cannabis Light Drink, this one actually contains, not marijuana, of course not, but hemp seed extract. Yeah, you can hardly see it. Now, there's a couple things to know about hemp seed extract. It's not a drug. None of these contain alkaloids and none of them contain THC. None of these contain anything illicit except for caffeine. Caffeine itself is in fact a type of poison. Whenever you drink something that's caffeinated, you're drinking a small kind of poison. Caffeine is generated by coffee beans to prevent animals from eating them. Certain bugs from eating them. However, caffeine causes elevated heart rate and elevated mental stimulation in humans. Your average cup of coffee contains about 40 to 50 milligrams of caffeine. A lethal dose of caffeine would be about, multiply 10,000 by your weight. And that should be a good indicator of what your lethal dose of caffeine is. In fact, most of the time that people have died from caffeine overdose, it has been because they have used the powdered or pill form of caffeine that you can get at Walgreens or at other places that is intended to be mixed with water. But some people just take that and they overdose on the caffeine because so many milligrams of caffeine are being injected directly. That would be like saying, I am going to eat an entire gallon of salt. I'm sure that'll be good for me. No, it's not good for you. Now, keep in mind that this one here, actually, the cocaine energy drink, actually does contain 280 milligrams of caffeine. That is essentially 3.5 Red Bulls. They have this little energy level kick. 3.5 Red Bulls, or 9 cans of Pepsi. So, that's why I refer to this thing as a high concentration student drink. I mean, there's a bunch of high schools and college stuff around here. There's an ITT Tech university around here. And goodness knows, if you're going to be up all night studying, one of these cans will do good for you. In fact, I would say that this stuff saved my life once. I used to have to drive an hour to work and an hour back from work, early in the morning, then a little bit later at night. And some mornings you're just, ugh. I was driving. The first time I tried the red one, I was driving, I was just kind of like, ugh, not kind of swerving a little bit. So I pulled into a gas station. I found this and was like, okay, I think this has the most caffeine. I will try it. And it worked. I made it to work safe. I did not feel drowsy after that. In fact, it was quite enlightening. The difference between these two is that the red one has a little bit of a cinnamon taste to it. In fact, this is the liquid version of the cinnamon test, whereas this does not. This has none of the cinnamon, all of the caffeine. So these ones are the ones I would recommend if you're going to be going to like a convention or something and you need some quick energy. They recommend not to drink more than one a day because, you know, some people are very, very sensitive to caffeine, and that's fine. Then we have the cannabis energy drink, which we really got in because of the can. This thing has hemp seed extract in it, which technically means that it has omega-3 fatty acids in it. So this thing's actually kind of healthy for you. It has 110 calories in comparison to the 70 calories that cocaine has, or 10 calories on the light one. The light one is actually the most nutritious energy drink I've seen in a while. It has things like taurine and other stuff in it, if I remember correctly. Yep, a little bit of that taurine, but it also has omega-3. Omega-3 fatty acids may help with preventing certain kinds of cancer and certain types of diabetes and other stuff, but we're not completely sure on that because further research needs to be done on that. And the Food and Drug Administration does that research. And you can tell by how they made cocaine relabel their cans because they felt this looked too much like chalk. They are very petty, and they're not really looking out for our best interest. But yeah, the reason we got these is because, wow, these green cans look gorgeous on this. This tastes a little bit like Red Bull, but sweeter. This one has I think aspartame in it. Let's see. Nope. It's what is the name of the thing that this thing has? It's got like a phenylalanine, which, by the way, is a kind of bug spray. Aspartame is a kind of bug spray. Caffeine itself is a kind of bug spray. It's derived from those. It's sweet. That's something people need to know. When you're drinking sodas or energy drinks, you're putting poisonous chemicals in your body, but in small amounts to boost your own performance. That's what you're doing. Yeah, caffeine is poison, and it can be deadly in extremely high amounts, but these things themselves are harmless. They just have really pretty looking cans, and they have quirky names. The quirky names mean they sell, and the quirky names mean that they have a lot of good word of mouth. The thing is, between these ones, if you're one of those people who drinks like a Red Bull a day, you should probably switch to cannabis. Because especially the cannabis light drink, you'll be taking in less calories, less carbs, and you'll be getting omega-3 fatty acids. If you're a person who's drinking multiple energy drinks a day, you're one of those people who down several monsters, please consider switching to this. You'll be drinking a lot less and getting a lot more. So, are these harmful? Are these something to be afraid of? No. Energy drinks are something that we should be using responsibly. The purpose of an energy drink is to give you a small burst of energy to help you with a project or with, I don't know, you're staying up late doing that Breaking Bad marathon or whatever. Why not get some cocaine while you're watching Walter White cook meth? So, yeah. That's I'm talking about. I'm talking about these things. They're okay. They're safe. I wouldn't recommend people drink a whole ton of energy drinks. Don't do that. Anything in excess is bad for you. Drinking too much wine, bad for you. Drinking too much energy drinks, also bad for you. So please, consume responsibly and don't be afraid of them. Because they're not going to hurt you or ruin your kids. Although, to be honest, if your kid is under the age of 10, please don't be giving them soda. You really probably shouldn't give them coffee or tea, to some extent. Because, caffeine. Their brains are developing, and caffeine, that can throw the balance off a little bit. But yeah, honestly, these are about as dangerous to you as a cup of coffee, except that they're lower in calories for the most part, lower in fat, and they contain omega-3 fatty acids. This thing, you could get a Venti or something from Starbucks, or you could get one of these. This is cheaper, and this has possibly more caffeine, and it's a quicker consumption rate. And that's really what you want. You want a higher turnover from the amount of caffeine that you've ingested, how quickly you've ingested it, and how quickly it takes effect. So yeah, please drink energy drinks responsible, and don't be afraid of the cans. Okay?